Hi, everyone. So, what a Sunday it has been. Wanda Vasquez, the Secretary of Justice on the island of Puerto Rico, who is set to become the next governor of the island on August 2nd at 5 p.m., sent out a tweet today in Spanish where she essentially said, I don't even want the job. And I told the governor I don't want the job, and I hope he appoints someone to fill the job so I don't have to take the job. Ms. Vasquez has to take the job, or some may say is constitutionally obligated to take it, because there is no one in the number 2 position who could take the job. Why is that? Because the Secretary of State / Lieutenant Governor resigned, caught up in the chat scandal, which is the reason the governor is leaving. So the governor says he's gone, leaving August 2nd at 5 p.m. The number 2 position is empty. Ms. Vasquez is number 3. Ms. Vasquez says, I don't want it. But she didn't say that she won't take it. So I actually sent a tweet to her. We have been trying to reach Ms. Vasquez for the better part of the last few days. We reached out to her spokeswoman, who said she was not available for an interview. So what I did today was I actually sent a tweet to Ms. Vasquez where I said, would you resign in order to not take the governor's job, right? So if you don't want the job, do you plan to resign as Justice Secretary so that takes you out of the constitutional obligation to become the next governor of Puerto Rico? I don't expect her to respond, but who knows? It could happen. I did reach out to the governor's office in Puerto Rico, and I was told they have no comment as of right now. About a half hour before Ms. Vasquez sent out that tweet, there was another resignation. Ms. Vasquez didn't resign, but so many other people have resigned over the last week. There was another resignation. This time it was the governor's Secretary of Public Affairs, Anthony Macera. Mr. Macera, right after he resigned, posted a picture of the beach. Not that people aren't able to go to the beach, but it was just kind of funny to see that shortly after he posted his resignation letter. He will continue as the executive director of the Ports Authority, but he is resigning his position as the Secretary of Public Affairs. It doesn't make a huge difference in terms of getting information out to the public because Mr. Macera has been almost impossible to reach over the last week and a half. Over the last week, he has been impossible, either by text, phone call, or email. You just couldn't get him to pick up the phone. Granted, the walls were collapsing, the government was in shambles, so maybe that was intentional, but again, him leaving doesn't really matter to journalists who are the ones he would deal with, right? It was his job to handle getting information from the public out to the community through journalism and through other means, so now he's gone. So anyway, the Wanda Vasquez thing is a hell of a mic drop on a Sunday afternoon, given that the governor is expected to leave office next Friday. Obviously, the governor's got to be aware of what Wanda Vasquez just tweeted, so what is his reaction? So I tweeted to the governor as well, asking him, does he plan to put in place a number 2? Because if he were to put in place a number 2, a Secretary of State, it would absolve Ms. Vasquez of her obligation to become governor. But the next question becomes, would protesters be okay with anyone? Is there anyone that Ricardo Rosselló could put in the number 2 position that protesters would say, okay, you know what, that's a good person. We'll do that. That becomes the issue, and who knows? I think getting the pulse of the protesters has been extremely difficult in terms of a collective voice, because there's so many people. The movement was so organic, there's not one leader, right? So it's hard for me to tell you exactly who protesters would be happy with, because you would have to talk to everybody. And that may sound silly, but everyone organically was successful in ousting the governor. So it's not crazy to say there really is no one person to go to and say, okay, who do y'all want? Who would you be satisfied with? A lot of the protesters have said they're not going to be satisfied until Rosselló's gone, Vasquez is gone, and others in the Rosselló government are gone. You might think, well, why not have a special election? I don't even know if that's a possibility, but that may be something that protesters would be pushing for. As it stands right now on the island in front of the governor's mansion, people are doing salsa dancing. That's one of the videos that was sent to me. So there is a protest planned for Monday outside the Justice Department where Ms. Vasquez works. Those people protesting her are trying to protest the fact that they don't want her there. So, you know, Wanda renuncia, Wanda resign, is the hashtag that they've been using. So anyway, that is the very latest as we have it right now. That's sort of the next piece of drama that has developed, and we are waiting to hear back from the governor's office. Is Mr. Rosselló going to respond to Ms. Vasquez? Ms. Vasquez says she already told the governor that she doesn't want the job. So if he knows that and she has said it publicly, then what is he going to do? Stay tuned.